Well, hey there, it's Angela Sharp, and of course you're watching the Daily Mix. I am so happy to be back. I was supposed to be back last week with you guys. We were off a week, 2 weeks ago, but I was supposed to be back last week, but we had that ice storm, so nobody wanted to go to work, and I get it, so we just didn't show up, and we didn't give you a brand new Daily Mix, but I've got one for you now. Now, I'm not sure when the last time I've seen the sun has been, because I haven't seen it in at least 2 weeks, but some fun stuff did happen, even though it was super, super gloomy. I think everybody knows about the Cardinals winter warm-up. That happened on some of the coldest weekend days I have seen pretty much ever. But you know what? A lot of Cardinals fans came on out and they hung out. And of course, I worked for the Cardinals, so I got to be there, got to interview some of the players. Thomas right here was amazing to talk to. He just kept giggling. I think he was just really excited. This is one of his first winter warm-ups, so he was really excited to meet the fans and sign the autographs and just really happy to be there. I love it when people are happy to be there. And of course, we did like a whole little show for the 3-day winter warm-up. That is Emily and our other friend there hosting the show. They're really the host. I just got to fill in for the day, but it was a lot of fun. But the highlight of my winter warm-up was, of course, interviewing Tony La Russa, and somebody snugged this awesome shot of me showing off his Cardinals World Series rings. I love that he only wore his Cardinals ones to the event, but it was really cool to see what people brought up to have signed, some unique items, some things you don't usually see. Tony signed a lot of chairs from the last arena, right? I call it an arena. It's a stadium. It's fine. But there's all sorts of really cool things to be signed. I always love to ask players, what's the oddest thing you've signed? Some people had great things. The one guy said a golf ball. Now, he was a pitcher, so why would he ever sign a golf ball? But he said it's really, really hard to sign a golf ball when you're used to like baseballs and things like that. It was really fun. And we're gonna stay in the odd, unique, interesting realm with today's guest. Did you notice all this cool stuff here next to me on the table? These giant shoes? Well, the world's largest sneakers happen to be here. I've got Katy Enrique coming on the show later today. She is from the City Museum. We're gonna talk about all sorts of awesome City Museum events and also, of course, their Guinness Book of World Records items. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm so excited. So let's get started on today's Daily Mix. Out to the Pulitzer Arts Foundation this Friday and celebrate the closing weekend of their fall expeditions. Sarah Crowner around Orange and Urban Archaeology Lost Buildings of St. Louis. Mixologist Chris Orange will be serving up special cocktails inspired by the works of the artist, while a musical duo from the Chamber Project St. Louis will fill the galleries with a variety of works inspired by both. The closing reception is this Friday, February 2nd from 6 to 8. Both will be on display through Sunday. Visit pulitzerarts.org for more information. Now, this weekend is also your last chance to catch Circus Harmony's Nocturne. This dreamlike show is all about overcoming your fears and finding your strength. Circus Harmony's fantastic flying children will present the show in their home ring on the 3rd floor of the City Museum, with new acts that include an aerial ladder act, a lyra act, chair balancing, and more. You guys remember I got to hang out with Circus Harmony like a couple years ago now. That stuff is harder than it looks. They make it look so easy, but it's super, super hard, and it's so cool to see them doing all this amazing things. So this full-length ticketed show will continue this weekend with shows at 2 and 7 on Saturday and 2 p.m. on Sundays. For tickets and more information, go to circusharmony.org. Now there's also time to catch the sensational musical comedy Funny Girl while it's in St. Louis. This Broadway revival is a bittersweet comedy that tells the story of Fanny Bryce as a young girl from the Lower East Side. She dreamed of a life on the stage, but everyone told her she'd never be a star. Then something funny happened, and she became one of the most beloved performers of all time. Funny Girl is on stage now at the Fabulous Fox and runs through February 4th. You can find a full schedule, tickets, and more at fabulousfox.com. The always popular Orchid Show is back at the Missouri Botanical Garden. See thousands of vibrant orchids bloom in nearly every color of the rainbow from the garden's impressive orchid collection, which includes nearly 700 unique kinds of the plant. That's amazing. You can also see a special lighted viewing of the Orchid Show along with live music, drinks, and food at Orchid Nights. The Orchid Show is open daily during regular garden hours through February 25th. Orchid Nights will be from 6 to 8 on Thursday, February 8th and the 22nd. You can find all the details at mobot.org. Did you guys know what Saturday is? It's Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. And what better way to celebrate than with Clementine's Creamery? You can enjoy breakfast at Clementine's with new flavors created especially for the day, and come in your PJs or costume inspired by the iconic breakfast at Tiffany's. You can take advantage of great photo ops, Tiffany & Co. giveaways, free pancake art, and more. Breakfast at Clementine's is this Saturday, February 3rd, from 9 till noon at all 8 locations. This is so amazing. The first 25 families in line will get free limited edition coffee mug. To learn more and to find a location near you, go to clementinescreamery.com. I love that. I would love for the breakfast art guy to come on the show sometime, so let's work that out. Hey, and get this, the St. Louis Zoo will host a job fair next week for those interested in part-time work at the zoo. They're hiring for day and night positions, including catering, food service, attraction operators, educational, interpreters, security beats, retail, parking lot attendants, and if they have anything more, they're hiring for that too. They have flexible weekday and weekend positions available for ages 15 and up and start as early as the beginning of March. The job fair will take place on Wednesday, February 7th from 4 to 7 in the Living World at the zoo's north entrance. You want to dress in business casual, and walk-ins, of course, are welcome. Visit stlzoo.org/employment to learn more. Okay, you guys, I got to see a wonderful movie this past week, right? It was called Underdogs. That's the movie with Snoop Dogg. Now, before I saw the movie, I checked the trailer out to see if I wanted to go. And I was like, what is this? Mighty Ducks for football? And it is, but they reference Mighty Ducks twice in the movie, so I'm okay with the fact that it's Mighty Ducks with a little bit more cussing. A lot more cussing and a lot more dirty jokes. But it was actually really, really cool. And get this, the clip you're gonna see, the little kid who plays the quarterback, Jonathan Booth, well, he is from St. Louis. How cool is that? That's amazing. He's like the star of the team on the show. And apparently he's also the star of St. Louis because there's not a whole lot of us that come from St. Louis and get to star in movies. I said us like I was one. I'm not, he is. Anyway, it's a really good movie. Check out this preview.
America loves a superstar. I'm Jason 2 J's Jennings. I was a football legend. But once you reach the mountaintop of greatness, everybody wants to see you fall.
Whew, 2 J's just got smoked.
You pled guilty to charges of speeding and damage to city property. I'm recommending community service with the Long Beach Recreations Department.
I thought I was getting like some Martha Stewart kind of treatment.
You too good for the community that raised you.
From the depths of the sea, back to the black Snoop Doggy Dogg,
I am football legend Jason 2 J's Jennings, your new head coach.
Legend.
Let me get a picture with y'all real quick for Twitter. Some of y'all gonna get some girlfriends with this right here.
keys.
Kareem?
Jason! I've been trying to get back in touch with you for years. I know you've been thinking about me, and I know you've been trying to get in touch with me. Is that pretty much right?
You just put a gun in my head.
Relax, Jay. The safety was on. Oh, no. It wasn't on.
What?
Imagine that.
Before we can be the best, we gotta master the fundamentals.
JJ, how you liking this game?
Coach, this is a mess. I don't know what I'm doing.
Do you remember what you were like when you showed up freshman year? You were a pain in the...
I don't owe nobody nothing.
Sound just like me. If you really want to win a game, stop pushing away your team.
Let's go! It was like a Black Princess Leia.
Underdogs on 3, underdogs on me.
1, 2, 3.
What's my name?
I got your mascots right here. Beat Killer and Skrilla. 2 dogs for 2 G's. I found them chained up in the back of the winter snitches.
I definitely think Underdogs is a movie you should go see. Now, depending on how much you let your children hear curse words, you might not want to take them. But there was actually kids when I went to go see it. So if you're fine with it, it's a really great movie. Now it's time to introduce Katy Enrique with the City Museum. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Now, we've got all this cool stuff on the table, so I guess we should talk about the science of the Guinness Book of World Records?
Yeah, it's the science of Guinness World Records, and I thought we would get ourselves started with reminding us how cool world records can be. So I brought some fun things with me today.
I feel like everybody in the studio has been talking about these shoes. So let's start with these shoes. Yeah. This is amazing.
The largest sneakers, feel how heavy like one of those shoes are.
Holy cow.
Really can't believe somebody's actually like walking around in those. And then conversely, we have the world's smallest fidget spinner.
Oh my gosh, look how tiny this is.
Yeah, you take that, and as long as it makes some rotations there, it qualifies as a fidget spinner.
That is, and it's so, you guys can't even, look how tiny.
It's so small.
It's so tiny. I love this.
And then
this
this
just spin it.
fidget spinner is the longest spinning, and it'll go 20 minutes if you just leave it sort of.
If you just leave it there, it'll go 20 minutes?
It'll go 20 minutes.
Holy cow!
So, super cool. But yeah, I just wanted to bring these things out to kind of get us in the mood to talk.
And what is this one? What is this
well,
here?
this was a stopwatch that was used to record the first 4-minute mile.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at the City Museum, I can learn about...
Yeah, you're going to learn about all sorts of world records.
Okay.
And it's a big exhibit space set up on our 3rd floor, and you're going to go in and learn the science behind achieving a Guinness World Record. So we have ones that are on endurance, we have ones that are on focus, and those are going to challenge you to do different things.
That is amazing.
Really cool.
Will I also learn how tall of a man this person was? Because this is a size 29.5 shoe worn by an actual human with the world's largest feet.
Well, and I don't know if you know this, but Robert Wadlow, who was the world's tallest man, he was from the St. Louis area. He actually was the spokesperson for the International Shoe Warehouse Company, and guess what resides in that warehouse?
What?
City Museum. So he actually walked the building of City Museum.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, it's a perfect tie-in. City Museum, really wonderful. We want kids to come and achieve amazing, which is what they'll be doing at this Guinness exhibit. They can come in and they can try to throw the most basketball shots in a 45-second time frame, the most like punching bags within a certain amount of time. They can also do puzzles, brain games, and then right next to it, it'll kind of show you, here's sort of the scientific method of how people practice and achieve to get these world records.
That is amazing. And you have some of the world's largest things in the City Museum, like the world's largest pencil.
Pencil, that's very iconic in our skateless park. A lot of parents know it as the bench I sit on while my kids run up and down the ramps.
Right.
But that came in through the side building of the museum. They busted out a window, brought that in through the side and parked it right there. And we actually are housing a couple of other items that are not on display because they're a little bit deteriorated now due to age, but one is the world's largest seesaw and one is the world's largest tennis racket. But we just keep those in storage right now.
But that's so cool.
Yeah.
So those things are there. I love the shot we have of this pencil kind of sticking out of the building. And then this is somebody's underpants.
Yeah, of course. We have a very large pair of underpants. Unfortunately, it's not the world's largest pair of underpants anymore. I think the new record is like 38 feet in diameter.
Do people constantly try to one-up and get the world's largest apparently underpants?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, if you sort of get into those positions where you've achieved it either like on a mass group effort thing, then there's always like, oh, we can do that. We can absolutely do that.
So we could do that.
We're definitely looking at some opportunity to do some different Guinness World Records as we walk through the exhibit time frame. So more in store on that.
So when is the world's largest? How long will that be at the City Museum?
We will have this exhibit, it's starting now through April 14th.
Okay.
So really right through the heart of spring break and a little bit after Easter. So
Perfect. So we have time to go down there and check this out. But you've got other stuff going on there. So you've got Blessed by the Ancestors by Brock Seals.
Yeah, we have all sorts of great exhibits going on. So Brock Seals will be setting up his exhibit in City Museum. That will be running in February. We have another exhibit coming in March that we'll be announcing soon. So really our goal is just to get hands-on art experience for guests that are coming to visit the museum. And we want to do that in some sort of cyclical way.
So I think when people think of the City Museum, they do think of, I sit down and my child runs amok throughout the building, but there's also ways to learn and see actual art exhibits.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I brought my kids there when they were younger, I said I was always looking down, right, and chasing them through City Museum. But now that they're a little older, I'm like looking up and looking at the architecture that we have up in the museum. We have one of the largest collections of Louis Sullivan architecture in all of the United States. Yeah. And then we have all sorts of great opera posters down on our second floor. So it's like the minute you can sort of take a deep breath and like look up as a parent that might be there or as a young adult come back to the City Museum, there's all sorts of great things to see.
Yeah, because I actually don't have any children, but I love like just running in the City Museum. I've now decided though, I think I'm too big for some of the things that I used to fit through. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, and I'm probably not. I probably could fit, but it's like a claustrophobic thing, right?
Well, and you've got a, you know, usually like a train of kids behind you like, let's go.
And they're running so fast and you're like, oh my goodness, come on.
But we do have some great adult nights, 21 and up, city night events that will start Friday around Memorial Day weekend, and we'll run those through the summer. And those are great times to come back, sort of as that young adult.
That's a good date night
museum
too.
Different, we'll do those on the rooftop as well. So they're super fun.
Oh, very fun. I love that. But that's not everything. You've got so many things coming up, and Valentine's Day is around the corner.
Valentine's Day, yep. Next week we'll be setting up our Tunnel of Love. So we have a vault room space, which is very popular in City Museum, and we'll put a light exhibit in there that is made out of different welded metal material. So it's a great photo spot for
Look how
Valentine's.
cute that is. It's right. We've got some photos there on the screen for everybody. That is an adorable photo opportunity.
Yes.
And if somebody wanted to propose, has anybody proposed there?
Seems like a really
that would
great
be so
spot
cool.
to do it, right?
I think just bop down on a knee and
and we'll have some, crafted cocktails and things like that as well to supplement Valentine's Day. So we're ready. Yeah, we're getting into it already.
We're ready for the Valentine's Day experience. So it's kind of whatever you want. The City Museum has it there for you. If you want a place for kids to burn off some steam, you got adult nights if just you want to go and have a good date night. Yeah. You've got learning about the science.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got real art from Brock, and then of course you've got the Tunnel of Love.
Yeah, and the great thing is a lot of our events are always included in general admission or with your member pass. So especially like this exhibit, it's all included when you get your admission to City Museum. So we want everybody to come in and explore and have fun and play.
You can make a whole day of it. Now, I believe that you are going to help us make somebody's day out here in the world.
We absolutely are, because we are offering a 4-pack giveaway to City Museum that will be valid all year long.
Look at that. So we're going to have 4-pack giveaway. That is some tickets for a family or one person with 3 friends, whatever, right? It doesn't matter.
Mix and match it how you like.
We're going to be putting that giveaway on STL TV's Instagram page, and City Museum, I'm sure, will share it as well. So definitely after you see the show, go check out our Instagram so you can find out how you can enter for our giveaway. It's going to be a lot of fun. What else would you tell people about the City Museum? Like if somebody's never been, because I feel like I've been, but I've lived here my whole life. What if you've never been here before?
It's so hard to explain it, right? The easy way is the artist-built playground, right? So it started as Bob Castley building, sculpting, and just really starting as an art space, and then inviting the community to come in and touch it and play on it and crawl through it and climb on it and slide down it. And it's just really unlike anywhere else I think you can find in the United States.
And I think you're right. I think a lot of people kind of look past the brilliance of like the mosaics that are on the wall and on the floor and that kind of thing. You look past that because you are maybe chasing a kid or trying to make sure you found your friends. But that alone is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, one of his foundational statements was, anything's a brick if you have enough of them. And so Bob said, if you give me 1,000 of anything, I can make something out of it. So our you know, concrete cylinders that we have, if you look at it closely, there's all these oyster shells on it. Well, those are from the Broadway Oyster Bar downtown.
That's so
yeah, it's just, as soon as you start looking around and seeing a lot of one thing, you're like, ah, Bob got a collection of something.
He got a collection of something.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot that's kind of like different. Like you have a part that kind of looks almost cave-like, and you have like a tree-looking part. And if you go the wrong way, you might find an organ that's playing music.
Absolutely.
Like you never know what's there. Like the organ was brand new to me. I hadn't seen it until my last visit to the City Museum.
And the cave was, you know, salvage materials of like leftover construction material that was starting to dry out. And so like he would get it all sprayed in there and sculpt it as he was going along. The tree house is all wood that washed up from the Mississippi River. And then the organ, we're just one of the few spaces that can actually house all of that bass that's happening from that organ. So it's just so cool how it was built right into that space.
It is amazing. You definitely need to check out the City Museum. Now, how can people follow you guys, check out what's going on, make sure they don't miss an exhibit or get tickets for their favorite one?
Yeah, so citymuseum.org, definitely our website. All, as you said, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we're all over the place, TikTok, you can find us anywhere.
It's right there up on your screen. And of course, we've got Blessed by the Ancestors by Brock Sears. That will be going on February 2nd through the 29th at the City Museum. And then you've got Paint and Sip. We didn't talk about Paint and Sip.
That's part of Valentine's Day. So yeah, we'll do our first Paint and Sip. So,
now that's awesome. We got to do that. That is Saturday, February 10th, 3 to 5 or 6 to 8, which is awesome. And what I've got right next to me is part of the science of the Guinness World Records exhibit. Of course, that you said is free with a museum admission, and it's open now through April 14th. Like you said, you get in all those spring breaks, which is great. So check that one out too. There's so much going on there.
I know, there's a lot going on.
I love that. Well, we didn't even talk about Paint and Sip, but I'm assuming that's when I paint and drink some wine.
That one's a separate ticketed event because we have so many spots. So if you're interested in that, you have to go online and purchase that ticket separately. But yeah, we have a City Museum serpent lot design that you'll be painting. So it's very cool. And it's just a casual thing, something fun to do, something different.
Definitely, you guys need to check out the City Museum. Make sure you get down there, especially if you haven't been ever or in a while. But don't forget about that 4-pack of tickets. STL TV and the City Museum will be giving away. So go to STL TV or City Museum Instagram after you see the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And don't forget, now after you follow the City Museum, you should follow us. We are on all those same things. We're on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube. Of course, you can always drop us a line at stltv.net. We want to hear from you. That's going to do it for the Daily Mix. We can keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis.